Okay, hello everyone. This is Ms. Huang, also known as Lynn.
Hi.
And she will be my mentor for the next few weeks during my clinical practice. So today is basically our first meeting and video where we will be discussing the lesson plans, mainly focusing on the first lesson that I will teach during my practical. We will also talk about the classroom expectations and the routines I have for my students, the learning standards, the units, and the objectives I have for the lesson. And then last will be the Teach Now rubric that Lynn will use to evaluate my performance. The first lesson I will teach during my clinical would be an introduction lesson to short vowel sounds A, E, I, O, U. And this introduction lesson is part of a 12-week phonics lesson plan, but it will focus on short vowel sounds and their word families. So after this specific lesson, I will focus on one short vowel for 2 weeks. So after 5 weeks, I would have covered all the short vowel sounds. The last 2 weeks of the 12 weeks will be then review weeks. However, throughout the 10 weeks, I will also monitor my students' understanding and progress. And then for those students who need extra help and maybe to reteach, I will do that during center time in the afternoons. And then I will also ask my Chinese co-teacher to inform their parents. Maybe I will send home some extra games and activities and worksheets that their parents can maybe do with them at home. I also just want to mention that each lesson plan during the 12 weeks, I have adapted and modified to meet the needs of different levels of my students. Moving on to the classroom expectation and routine. I think for the teacher's expectations, both me and my Chinese co-teacher should be well prepared for our lessons. And then before each lesson, we would go through the lesson plan and then see how we can best assist the different level of students in all the activities and games and songs. For the students' expectations, we hope that they can be involved and participate in all the activities, games and songs. And I think also very important is for them to have fun, especially because they are learning a second language. And looking at the phonics side is for them to be able to recognize and pronounce the different vowel sounds and also be able to make the correct hand signal associated with each vowel sound. Then looking at the teacher routines and student routines. When I am teaching, I will be mostly in front of the classroom and the students would sit in a U shape. It's usually on my right will be team A, in front of me will be team B, and then team C would be on my left. They don't have any desks in front of them, which makes it easy for me to access them, have a conversation with them, play games with them. And then when we are doing group work, students would move back to will sit behind their desks, and me and my Chinese co-teacher would move around the classroom, helping them, assisting them, and encouraging them as needed throughout the group work and activities. Then students also know that before class, each student is responsible to move their own chair into the correct team in a U shape, A, B, C. And then when we do activities in group work, everybody will move their chairs back to their desks and tables, and then also help to move the tables in the right position. The learning standards for this specific lesson will be CCSS ELA Literacy RFK2, which is to demonstrate understanding of spoken words, syllables, and sounds. And the skills that students should have after this lesson, hopefully, is to be able to recognize and sound the short vowel sounds A, E, I, O, U. And then we don't really work in units for our phonics program, we work in weeks. A semester is about 20 weeks, Lynn. This semester is about 20 weeks, but this specific phonics program that I did for the clinical is a 12-week program, and this will be the first lesson of the 12-week program. And then the objectives for this lesson plan, I think, is to identify and to sound the short vowel sounds A, E, I, O, U, to make the correct hand signals associated with each vowel sound, Then the Teach Now rubric, Lynn, that will be used to evaluate my performance. So these 10 Common Core standards are basically used by many teacher preparation programs in the US. And this is what you will use to evaluate my performance during the clinical. And then your main responsibilities would be just to guide and to coach and support me by, yes, I know, by observing, evaluating, and then also giving me feedback. And then hopefully by the end, I believe by the end of by the module 8, I will be able to successfully implement and then demonstrate all the standards into my lessons at a proficiency level.
Yeah, I'm fully confident.
Thank you. And then I gave you the standards here. Maybe we can just have a look at them. The 10 standards are divided into 4 main groups. The first group would be the learner and the learning. And this is where we as teachers have to know our students individually. We have to know their weaknesses, their strengths, because if we know this enables us to maybe adapt our content and our lesson plans according to their level. Yeah. And then also, I think all of us here at WeGo, we try to create an environment which is happy and safe and fun. Which will enable students to express themselves in their second language. And then the second one is content knowledge, which is the 4th and the 5th standard. And basically this is, of course, as a teacher, you have to know your content, able to teach at a high level. I think we also use a variety of sources here, both online and offline sources, to teach our content to the students. And I also think we try to provide them with real life experiences. So for example, now we did the pets. So what we taught in the classroom, we basically took their pets that they made in the classroom and we took them outside, and they had to show us how to feed the pet and how to take care of a pet. Their homework would be to make a video with their parents, also involving the parents, saying a few sentences of how to take care of a pet. As we teach our students, we also see what areas they struggle in, what areas they are good at, and then we adjust our content and lesson plans and teaching according to their level, also because they are second language.
Yeah, Yani, she always give us a lot of different input, and I really like the way, like recently she input a lot of online learning, and it had been
it's due to the Teach Now program that I have all these amazing ideas. And then instructional practice will be standards 6, 7, and 8. And this is basically assessments and how we use our assessment to plan to differentiate instruction. So our formative assessments are very much orally orientated. We also do exit tickets, but this is more, since they are doing learning a second language. For example, my students would line up outside, maybe after, once again, we did pets. So one of the sentence structures would be, do you have a pet? And maybe before they go to the bathroom, I would ask everybody the question just to see who knows and who can say the sentence.
Quick check.
Yeah, just a quick check. And then our summative assessments would be more formal, maybe twice a semester in the middle of the semester, and then also in the end of the semester. And then we also use this as the assessment results to kind of to monitor our students' understanding, progress, and then also once again adapt our lessons and content according to their understanding and levels.
And the center time is always a good time to help out those lower achiever right on time.
Yes.
So it's good.
Yes, definitely. Last but not least is talking about professional responsibility. I personally believe that to create and support a safe and productive environment where students can achieve their highest level is one of our teachers' main responsibilities. In order to achieve this, I think teachers should be able to invest in their own personal growth, ongoing studying, also self-reflection, looking at yourself and seeing where can I improve. And also collaboration, working with our co-workers and see, working together. What is working for you? What is working for me? What can we do to help our students to the best of our ability? And then the result of ongoing studying is, of course, you not only improve yourself, but you improve your students' learning, and it enables you to help them in a better way. And then also here at WeGo have workshops, maybe once or twice a semester, where we mainly focus on students. We try to incorporate 24th century skills such as collaboration, communication, creativity, critical thinking, and we see which methods are best to teach them and to incorporate them into our lessons, and for them to be able to explore these skills, and also for us as teachers, how can we best work together to teach our students. I think we as teachers here at the school are our students' biggest role model. And so I think it's important for us to model ethical behavior inside the school, but also outside the school, you know, for the parents. And
the mindset is like, we're not just teaching English.
Yes.
We're teaching them how to be a human being.
Yes.
So like we have to help them through English, and how we can train them, or not train, to direct them or guide them to reach another level that they are happy to use a language, but also being a positive person.
Yes.
So it's it's not easy.
Yes, but it's possible, and I think we are doing a great job here. We have a good team. I think we have a good team of
Very
English
strong
teachers,
team.
foreign teachers, and also Chinese teachers, and we are all willing to work together.
Yes.
And then in the end, basically, just to kind of sum everything up, I think it's important to not only grow personally, but also in a professional way. Just because I think for us as teachers, the education system is constantly changing. You know, technology is changing, and also the world or mankind is changing, and it's adapting and it's improving. And I think as I'm bettering myself, then my students also get to learn and to grow and to develop with me. So I think it's a win-win.
Win-win. Yes, it's a learning environment that increase everybody. Yes. Good luck with everything.
Thank you.
And good luck everybody.